Alright, so let's get into it. Royal Rumble reactions. So Royal Rumble was pretty eventful for an event that was not that hyped, to be honest. Yeah, but generally people are excited for Royal Rumble, but it wasn't as hyped as it's usual. Uh, but yeah, as for my review of the show, I enjoyed it. Uh, usually Royal Rumbles are nice because you have the two, or it used to be one, but now you have the two Rumble matches, and those two Rumble matches kind of like hold the show together really well. Uh, so the opener was Reigns versus Corbin. It was a pretty good match. They had the brawling around the stadium, and it's nice when with the football stadium they have like uh different environments they can brawl in. It's different than your usual basketball arenas. So it was a pretty cool visual seeing Roman spearing Corbin on top of the dugout. That was a cool image. The second match of the night was the women's rumble. I was surprised that it was the second match of the night, but it was a uh, at first I thought it was kind of an okay rumble. Like I didn't really get into it, but I think th- it had a couple of standout performances. Bianca Belair had, I think, what, like eight eliminations. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Eight. Yeah,
yeah,
like yeah, pretty impressive. Like I think this is like her first. I might be wrong about this. This might be her first time in a match on main roster. So
well, if you count Survivor Series,
oh right,
Wait,
yeah,
what the fuck? She had
that's what I
8
was.
eliminations?
I
Yeah,
think Charlotte had 8 too.
yeah,
What the fuck?
I guess now they're both tied for the women's Royal Rumble record. Yeah, that
Nah,
was
guys, I'm be honest with you guys. I definitely fell asleep during the
I,
sluts Royal match.
I don't
You can't
I
call
don't
it one
even
anymore.
I don't even blame you because it was kind of boring in the beginning, to be honest.
I was awake for like the first 6 or 7 or so people,
Yeah,
and then
it
I fell asleep and I saw we were like live chatting through it, and I
yeah,
woke up and I saw Charlotte like just straight up go Incredible Hulk on whoever she eliminated last, just lit up
yeah,
leg lifted her. I was like,
like
what the fuck? This is so rigged.
yeah,
No,
I know what
wait,
you're saying.
wait. That was Shayna and Bianca that had the 8 eliminations.
Oh right, Shane, not Charlotte, Shayna, right? Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, I can
Oh
see how you
yeah,
mix that
Shayna was
up.
supposed to win, but then they called an audible and just threw
Yeah,
Charlotte in.
and that's the thing. Like the match, like a second half of the match was really good. Like you had the showdown between Shayna Baszler and Charlotte, and people were maybe excited to see Shayna win only because they didn't want Charlotte to win. But as soon as Charlotte won, the crowd kind of got deflated. They were like, eh, whatever.
Uh,
She's already a 10-time champion, and who's she gonna choose? Bailey, Becky Lynch? We've already seen those matches
Rhea Ripley.
1,000 times, and then that prospect came up that maybe she's being set up to face Rhea Ripley at
I would like that, to be
WrestleMania.
honest. That'd be a great match.
Yeah, and maybe NXT becomes big time because this will be first time a main roster star challenges for an NXT title. Yeah, so that would be pretty cool on at WrestleMania. Okay, you had that match, and then you had the Bryan versus the Fiend match, and we were so thankful that they didn't have that god awful red lighting. Uh, I was really happy with that. At that point, I was like, okay, nothing can go wrong with this match. And sure as heck, it was one of the best matches of the night. Bryan definitely brought it. Like there were a couple of moments in the match where you were like, okay, Bryan might actually win. This is a thing. It might happen, but Fiend just gave him a little bit, and then he just demolished him. That was pretty awesome. Great match. And of course, the men's Royal Rumble match. The first half of this match was.
Hold on, before we get started on the Roman match, I just want to say, Brian and Bray was good. I'm just so pissed off with that ending. That shit was so stupid. This man Bray just really overpowers him like it's a damn video game, and I'm really annoyed by
That's
that.
the thing with Bray.
Overall 100 with unlimited finishers.
It's
He's
like
an OP motherfucker.
it's
like
that.
I was like, okay, Brian's probably gonna lose. But I was like, let's have a good ending. No, this dude just straight up just no sells everything and just.
It's like
Brian.
that thing you play. I mean, like it's that thing with Undertaker. Like he comes into this like Super Saiyan mode and like he's untouchable after he gets up. From lying down, and like that's kind of how I see Bray just going invincible at the end of his matches. But yes, the Royal Rumble, first half was pretty controversial. Some people really liked it, some people hated it. I was kind of in the middle. I hated the fact that John Morrison came into the match and lasted only like 9 seconds. I'm like super confused as to what is going on with John Morrison. Like he came back, a lot of fans were excited, like freaking John Morrison is back, uh, maybe he's gonna have so many dream matches or whatever, and people were looking forward to him coming back into the Royal Rumble and having a great performance, but you just fed him to Brock Lesnar. Like I was so confused by that. Like I want to know how much Morrison is getting paid, because it better be a lot of money to get squashed like this and be embarrassed like this. I hope it's a lot of money.
Well, him and Miz are the number one contenders for the tag titles. So.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Cool.
The tag division in WWE.
That doesn't fix anything. That doesn't fix it though.
If you're a tag team in WWE, you might
fucked up at the Rumble. Damn it.
I mean, if you're a tag team in the WWE, you might as well be jobbers at this point. They don't really respect the tag division down there.
Who cares about the tag division?
Exactly. But anyways,
well, besides NXT at least.
Yeah, hated seeing that. The 3-on-1 beatdown with Kofi, Biggie, and Ray was pretty cool. Kind of like a hope spot, but Lesnar just ran through them. And finally, Ricochet came out. He lasted for like maybe a minute or two with Lesnar. And then finally, the big guns came out. Yes, Drew McIntyre came out and freaking Ricochet. I like the storytelling. Like on Raw, the night, like, a few days before on Raw, Brock Lesnar kicked Ricochet in the dick, right? He took him to Dick Kick City. And then Ricochet gets his revenge at the Royal Rumble, in the Royal Rumble match. That leads to Drew McIntyre doing the Claymore, and Lesnar's eliminated. I like that storytelling, and I like them setting up Drew McIntyre showdown with Lesnar in the match. That was really awesome, and the crowd popped huge. And after that, then we got a real Royal Rumble match. The ring started filling up. You had some actual spots, not just Lesnar dominating. And then, of course, the big return. We'll have another topic for this particular subject, but quick reaction. When Edge came out, I screamed. I was like, yes, thank God the rumors are true. Edge is back in the WWE. I was really happy to see him back. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was just like an emotional day, and like to see one of my favorite wrestlers ever coming back from a career ending injury. It was just like overwhelming. Like I was really happy in that moment. And the match went on. Like you had a lot of really good spots. I think I don't know what happened, but we'll talk about this a little bit more. But Matt Riddle was in the match too, and he lasted only like a minute or two. That was disappointing. We'll talk about this later. AJ, I think, injured his shoulder during one of the spots with Edge, I think, and he was thrown out pretty quickly. So hopefully
MVP made a cameo.
Oh yeah, MVP also made a cameo, got squashed by Lesnar.
Shame they didn't do
Uh,
a Kofi spot this year.
yep. And yeah, hopefully Styles is okay, nothing too serious. Uh, and yeah, and then you had Roman being teased as the winner like every year, and then Drew winning. Like that was really awesome to see Drew winning. And in that instant moment, you made a superstar WWE. Like I want to see more, you know, superstar building stuff like that, and I'm happy to see Drew McIntyre win. All right, I've talked long enough. I think I would give this show, if I were to give this show a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think this was a really great pay-per-view, paced very well. I think the only disappointing part in this pay-per-view was Charlotte winning only because they had a chance to give the win to somebody else who could have used the win, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. So let's move on to the other cast members. Ziggler, your turn. What was your reaction to the Royal Rumble and your rating?
Yeah, this Royal Rumble was fun as hell. The two Royal Rumble match, I actually liked the women's Royal Rumble match. It was pretty good. I popped hard for NXT stars like Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler entering number 30. That was dope as hell. And yeah, I wanted Shayna to win, face Becky at Mania probably, but I'm okay with you. Like when Charlotte won, I was like, oh fuck that. But now I'm kind of okay with it because I really hope she goes down to NXT and face Rhea Ripley. That'll be a great match. They're both great wrestlers. I don't want to see Charlotte versus Becky or Charlotte versus Bayley again. I want to see something new and fresh. We haven't seen Rhea versus Charlotte, and that's gonna be fucking great if they do it. If they pull the trigger, but I'm not sure if they are, but hopefully they will. And yeah, the Fiend versus Daniel Bryan was great. I actually liked that match. It was probably the best match that Bray Wyatt has had in a long, long time. Yeah, there were some spots where I thought he was gonna win actually, like the label lock and when he wrapped the strap around his face. That was pretty cool. That was a cool visual, and the Fiend won. I'm not surprised to be honest, but if he keeps on putting matches on like this, and that's great. I'm glad the red lighting's gone because fuck that red lighting, man. The red lighting was awful. And then the men's Royal Rumble match, I loved it. Best Royal Rumble in years. Yeah, I was kind of during the Brock Lesnar bit. That was like for what, like 20, 30 minutes. It was still kind of fun. Like when Keith Lee came out and Braun Strowman, that was fun as hell. Even when Kofi came out, I was like, oh shit, Kofi got some offense for like 2 minutes, but that was it. But it was still fun as hell. And Drew McIntyre winning. I'm not the biggest Drew fan. I'm not the biggest Drew fan, but hey, maybe you turn me around. You got a few months till WrestleMania, so maybe you can turn me around on that. Overall, I'll give this show probably an 8 out of 10. It was fun.
Yep, sounds good, bro. And Cam, your thoughts on the show?
Show wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. The opener was a lot of fun. Women's Rumble wasn't all that bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. I liked the cameos from the NXT people and the legends. Started to pick up steam once Charlotte came out, but I'm 50-50 on the whole Charlotte winning thing. She's been in limbo for the past few months, and they decided to just throw a Rumble win at her just because, okay, we need to put her in something, and she hasn't won a Rumble yet, so hey, might as well give her a Rumble. Please, no more of those. Don't give us Bayley and Charlotte or Bayley and Becky, not Bayley, like Becky and Charlotte again. I'm hoping that they can do the whole Rhea thing. The Universal title match, really good match. I really enjoyed the storytelling and the idea of the strap match. You rarely see strap matches in wrestling nowadays, and they really knocked it out of the park. but I'm grateful for the fact that they didn't do the red lighting. The men's Rumble match itself, not bad. Like, I'm thinking of the past few Rumbles from the past few years. 2018 was a really good one. Last year's wasn't bad, was pretty good. This year was good as well. The Lesnar stuff at the beginning, it's been polarizing, but besides Morrison and MVP just getting thrown out and Kofi and Ray getting thrown out, I didn't mind it. But it kind of just went on for too long. Once the Rumble started to pick up steam, I was really getting into it. We can talk about the big return in the next topic. But McIntyre winning, they had the chance to make a name, and they pulled the trigger. I'm glad that they chose Drew, because he's been in limbo ever since he came onto the main roster like 2 years ago. He needed this. My final rating, probably 7 or 8 out of 10. Really good show. And we also forgot that there was a Bailey and Lacey. We forgot about that match. It's like, wasn't there one more match after that? After the Women's Rumble? It's forgettable. Just don't mention it.
Yeah, I forgot about that match.
Also, the Asuka and Becky, I think we forgot.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh.
That was a good one. That was another good one.
Oh yeah, that was a good match. I don't know why I forgot about that match. I think I forgot about that match because there was no follow up on Raw to that match of any kind. I think Becky had a promo. She was acting a bit heelish. I was confused, but that was pretty much it. Anyways, Izzy, I know you were disappointed that Ziggler didn't win the Rumble.
He put his entire life savings into that.
Please tell us how disappointed you were, and your reaction to the Rumble.
0 out of 10. I'm just kidding. For the women's match, I watched. Let's see. I watched Candice show up, and then I fell asleep. Yeah, I fell asleep.
He didn't care, folks.
The whole match. I woke up with the final 2, and then Charlotte with her fucking Goldberg ass legs watching me. Shayna blazing over, and I was like, I was still waking up, so I wasn't like upset. But if I was awake, I probably would have been upset. So I was like, Charlotte won. Yeah, I've never seen this image before. Wow, this is not fucking amazing. Yeah, whatever. Didn't really catch that match. Brian and Bray, like I said, annoyed by the ending because Bray took steroids and hulks up and just beats Brian. Very upsetting. Good match though. Best match since Fiend turned into Fiend. That's the name, right? Fiend. Yeah, something like that. Asuka and Becky is my favorite match, not counting the men's Rumble. I enjoyed that match. I knew Becky would win, but Asuka did win. But actually, I like the ending when she kicks her in the stomach and she spits the mist out. That was pretty cool. I was like, wow, that was kind of sexy. Anyways, so that match was good. Bailey had a match, right? Yeah, I didn't really watch that one. I think I fell asleep in that one too. And the men's Rumble, Brock, pissing me off with these 5-second eliminations. How you can do Black Panther MVP like that? That was rude.
And Morrison.
How you can do Morrison like that? That was rude. And there's another person. Oh yeah, you know what was annoying, bro? And it was like Kofi, Big E, and some other guy. I don't remember. I think it was Mysterio. They all like jump him, and then Brock just rages, just eliminates everyone in like 5 seconds. I was like, really? This is so stupid. And then McIntyre comes out, finally shuts down Brock, ends up eliminating him, which is really cool. And then the GOAT, Dolph Ziggler, comes out, and I was like, yeah, this is his time. It's finally time. I know he was doing so good. He was staying out of the way. He was laying low. And then that motherfucker Roman Reigns Had to ruin everything. Still love you, Roman, but come on, man. You had your chance. Let the other people win, bro. Like, come on. What Dollar did you? Come on, man. Just to put it out there.
Yeah, I think it was Roman.
If Dollar came out number 2, Brock would have been eliminated off the rip. Just saying. Anyways, it was a good match. You know, I'm disappointed Ziggler didn't win. So disappointed. You know, WWE just loves to break my heart. McIntyre, I'm on Ziggler. I'm not the biggest McIntyre fan, but we'll see what happens. Him challenging Brock Lesnar is pretty predictable after everything that's led up to it. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we have something interesting. Hopefully he does something cool, like kills Brock. Not like literally, but just does something really cool.
Imagine if he squashes Brock at Mania.
That would be awesome, to be honest. But then, I want a good main event WrestleMania, so I kind of want that to happen. But so yeah, show was good. You know, I can't give it an 8 because I fell asleep for one of the matches. Well, 2 of the matches. Stupid whores. Can't put on a good match. Can't give me a week. I'm gonna go a solid 7 out of 10 because the way Bray Wyatt pissed me off, and the horse put me to sleep. Yeah, 7 out of 10.
Yep, sounds good, bro. All right, so that's our reaction to the Royal Rumble. Let's move on to our next. True. And let's move on to our next topic. Edge is back in the WWE. What? Crazy. That promo on Raw, like, that's pretty much the only reason I tuned into Raw, cause I had to see Edge's first, first Raw with Edge, and well, he's been on Raw before, but Edge is back. Like, I gotta tune into Raw, So yeah, they were talking about it the whole night. Like, did anybody else feel like, okay, when they played the promo package with Edge, like, and they would play the "You Think You Know Me" music, and like you'd be like, what, Edge is coming out, and then it would just be the promo package, that would keep playing that over and over again, every like 15, 20 minutes.
Just his greatest hits montage.
I know, and then you were thinking, oh wait, Edge is coming out. No, it's not Edge. It's just the way they're playing it. But anyways, the main event, it's Edge in the ring. It's one of the best promos I've heard in a long time on WWE programming. So heartfelt, so emotional. Talking about coming back from a career-ending neck injury, and he talked about how he had to go through a second neck surgery to recover. I was like, man, that's tough, like a second neck surgery, like I'm like like that's tough, and to see him finally back, able to wrestle, and he even talks about, like, hey, he might not have long, but he's gonna make the most of it and end his career on his terms. I think that was the one thing, he probably didn't want that Del Rio match at WrestleMania 27 to be his last match. He wanted something more going forward, to be remembered by. And he's already a Hall of Famer, and he signed a deal where he's gonna work limited dates, but he's gonna have some dream matchups and end his career on his terms. And I really like that, and I'm glad he's getting the chance to do that. But of course, the meat of the segment, the real part that people are talking about, is Randy Orton coming out teasing rated RKO, and then RKO out of nowhere to Edge, and Edge selling the neck was amazing. Like, the way he was selling the neck, I was like legit worried. I was like, whoa, is he okay? I hope he's fine. And then you had Orton. I've actually never seen that in the past 10 years. Like, it's been such a long time since I've seen that chair spot. I think Edge used to do that spot where you'd have that chair under his head, and then you hit him with
signature spots.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, it's been such a long time since I've seen that spot. Orton hits him and ends the show. Crowd is stunned. And the heat is just amazing. You can't, like I was telling you guys, you can't manufacture stuff like this. So yeah, it was a great segment and a great return for Edge on Raw. We'll see where this angle goes. We'll see if we get Edge versus Orton at WrestleMania, or maybe they do the match at the Saudi show coming up in February. Because I think maybe they were trying to tease AJ Styles versus Edge for Mania. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm really excited to see Edge. I think part-time Edge is awesome because he'll set up dream matchups with guys like Rollins, I guess McIntyre, Ricochet, Aleister Black. Like there's so many matchups.
I love to see him face Styles and hopefully not get injured again.
True, yeah. Like Styles would be an amazing matchup. There's just so many matchups, and maybe he comes to Raw, wrestles maybe a few times. It can be like an attraction match for Raw. I think it's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's freaking amazing. And let's get your guys' reaction. Ziggler, your thoughts on Edge's return in that segment?
Well, his return in the Royal Rumble was crazy as hell. I did not, even though we were talking about it, I still was like, nah, he's not gonna show up. Just like CM Punk, like even though we're talking about it, like I thought he was never gonna show up. Same with Edge. I'm just like, yeah, he's never gonna show up, and he did. I was like, holy shit, what the hell? His entrance was awesome. Bringing back that awesome pyro, and then they cut away on his first spear back. That made me angry when they cut to a fucking fan reaction on his first spear back.
Camera work.
That man ought to be fired, man. How do you fuck that up? His first spear back, and it was a Dolph Ziggler, one of the best sellers, and you cut away from it. Like, okay. And then his promo on Raw, that was the main event. Yeah, and I didn't watch the whole Raw, but that was like the main reason why I tuned in. But I didn't watch it. Like the whole thing. I just waited till the end. And yeah, the promo was great. And Randy Orton, my God, when he wants to be, he can be the best heel in the business. He is honestly so great as a heel. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about a match between them at Mania, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll be a good match, but I would really love to see a Seth Rollins versus Edge program, maybe at Mania or maybe even after it, SummerSlam. Hell. But I know Rollins is in a feud right now, and now Edge is in a feud, so I'll probably have to put that on hold till like SummerSlam or some shit like that. But yeah, or maybe they'll do it at a Saudi show, Orton and Edge. I don't know. We still got 2 months, so we don't know. But yeah, that segment with Orton and Edge was scary as hell too. When he put his neck in the chair, I was like, holy fuck, don't do this to me, man. And he didn't do it. I was like, oh fuck. And then when he got back into the ring, I was like, oh shit, he's about to do a punt kick. And no, he got another chair and got 2 chairs. And he did, what is it called? I don't know what it's called.
The concerto.
Yeah, concerto. And I want him to bring back the punt kick again, honestly. I know it's banned, but so are chair shots to the head, and concerto was kind of a chair shot to the head. So I just want to see the punts again. It was one of my favorite moves of Randy Orton, and I miss it, and I want the punt kick back. And if you're gonna do some crazy shit with Edge's neck, just go all out and just do a fucking punt kick.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. And Cam, your thoughts
or
on
if you
Edge?
or if you want to punt Beth Phoenix, that's cool too.
Oh my god.
His phone's on. That's so professional.
If you want Randy to
It's a
go
bit too
full
much.
heel, you got to RKO or punt Beth Phoenix
Full
on NXT.
2009 heel Orton. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Cam, go ahead.
If you would have told me like last year or 2 years ago that he was going to show back up, I would have laughed at you. I know that there's been rumors going around for the past like month, 2 months, 6 months even, ever since like SummerSlam. But I kept denying everything. Even he kept denying everything on Twitter. But hey, that's what a guy would say if he was coming back. It was a genuine shock to see him back after all. After I kept just denying all the rumors. He did great at the Rumble. He looked great, probably in the best shape of his entire career even. But, that segment. It was great, but in an uncomfortable way. Like, you know how you watch a horror movie and it's like, wow, this is so good, but it's scary in a way. The two teases with the chair in the neck, the Brian Pillman thing where you put a limb in the chair, that scared me. But then he started to tease the punt kick, and then I thought to myself, no, that thing is banned, right? It's banned because of concussions and stuff. But then he grabbed the two chairs and did the old concerto, which is kind of surreal to see since chair shots have been banned for over 10 years now. I'm glad he's back and got the whole Daniel Bryan initiation thing where, hey, you're back, let's kick his ass. I'm hoping that it isn't for Saudi and it's for Mania, but if it is for Saudi, then you can do something at Mania, hopefully, AJ. But I am glad that Edge is back and doing the whole part-time thing because it actually makes him feel a lot more special and he doesn't overstay his welcome.
Yeah, and it's perfect for him because obviously he can't work the actual, the schedule that a regular wrestler has. So it's perfect for him, and we get to see him, have these dream matchups that we wanted to see. All right, Izzy, your thoughts on Edge's return?
I didn't think he'd show up, to be honest. I think I mentioned that last week on the rumor preview. I was like, yeah, he won't show up. I was like, I think he's just a rumor. But, he showed up. I was like, oh, shit. Look at that hair. Great. You're old. But, it was good to see him hit some spears, even though
it's old man Edge.
Some of them are pretty good, honestly. I was like, damn. And then one thing I noticed, I think like Randy Orton noticed it too. Like, that man's in shape for being like 95 years old. Man's in good shape for being 95. And he did well. I knew he wouldn't win, but it's kind of cool to see him last as long as he did. Roman eliminated him, right? I think he eliminated him. And I'm sure people are pissed off about that, but I didn't really care. I mean, he did well. He performed good. I didn't watch Raw. So I don't know what the fuck he said. I know he got RKO'd though. That was kind of cool. God damn, he couldn't punt him or like RKO chair him or something interesting. Concerto, I guess works, but surprised the Edge took that concerto spot already. But what's up with this WWE? Just like when someone comes back from injury, like, hey, we're just gonna attack this body part, make it look brutal. Like they did to Dan O'Brien too. And yeah, I get it. You want to target like oh, he just injured, he's gonna re-injured again. It's cool and all, but it's so played out. It's so like.
That's how you get the heels over as
the heel
pieces of shit.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, look at that heel. Like, oh, Randy Orton's a fucking piece of shit. Let's fucking kill him.
Oh, good. Let's pair him with fucking the Ascension. And I'm like,
what?
I don't think they're WWE anymore, but
the Ascension got released
years
ago.
What? Let's bring it back. I miss my man Victor. All right, and the other guy.
The other guy. But yeah, what is the other guy's name?
I think it's Connor.
Yeah, Connor with a K.
Connor with the K, yeah.
But anyways, I lied. I did catch some parts of Raw. Eric Bischoff did some good things.
Eric Bischoff.
Good to see Trish Stratus
What are you
back.
talking about?
Eric Bischoff.
Good to see Mick Foley too. Mick Foley and Triple H had that little promo battle. I thought that was pretty cool. And
Promo battle.
Hope for a good WrestleMania.
Are you reviewing an episode of Raw from 2002?
And then Marty Jannetty, do that moonsault. That was pretty wild too. Other than that, Raw was good. And Edge returning, good to see him. You guys said the part-timer schedule. What'd you expect? He's 95. Ain't no 95-year-old doing that.
The man's 46. Show some respect.
Same thing. God.
I mean,
so I hope he sticks around after WrestleMania. I'm certain he'll face Orton, but hoping for the Ziggler Edge feud. That would be good.
True. Yeah, I would love to see that match. Their 2011 Rumble match was really good.
And Ziggler could finally end his damn career. Good.
All right. You're done, Ed.
I'm good. Yeah, good having back Edge.
All right. Oh yeah, and also I just remembered Edge has been been in TV shows. I think he's been in a couple of different TV shows. I think he's in a TV show with some Vikings TV show, and he was also a villain on The Flash in season 3, I think, or 4. I don't remember.
He was in one episode though.
Yeah, he was one episode. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, really cool to see him back. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. I just want to talk about this real quick. Matt Riddle was in the match, the Royal Rumble match, for a minute, I think, or 2 minutes. So the reports came out that earlier during the day, when they were prepping for the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar actually confronted Matt Riddle, because Matt Riddle has been talking shit about oh, I'm going to retire Brock Lesnar. I want to be the one to do it. So Lesnar came up to Matt Riddle and they had a little confrontation where Lesnar was like, kids, stop talking about me. Stop tagging me and shit. You're never going to work with me ever. He said something along the lines of that. And I think because of that, I think they probably brought Matt Riddle into the Rumble match so they can have that confrontation between Matt Riddle and Brock Lesnar that a lot of people wanted to see, but they kind of ended up just burying him because of that confrontation. And you know how WWE main roster backstage is a little thing like this happens and you instantly have heat on you backstage. So I guess that's what happened and that was the result. Now
And do you know what Matt Riddle did after that? He fucking talked shit about Brock Lesnar again.
Yeah, because Matt Riddle, he doesn't take shit from anybody. He doesn't care. He's not gonna apologize and stuff. He actually has a backbone. He stands up for himself. And here's the thing, right? Going forward, I just hope that the heat doesn't carry over. I don't want to see Matt Riddle be another what if Matt Riddle got pushed properly. I don't want to even think about that. I want to see Matt Riddle on the main roster, being successful and becoming the superstar that we know he probably should become in the WWE. I mean, the guy, he's so marketable. He reaches so many different demographics. He's got superstar written all over him. If WWE messes up with Matt Riddle, I would be shocked. But that's what I'm hoping going forward, that this doesn't affect his run on the main roster. And that's why I'm hoping Vince goes to focus on the XFL more, so that Triple H can take over and make sure that his boy Matt Riddle is pushed properly.
Well, WWE tends to fuck up a lot of stars all the time.
True.
Like Ricochet, Aleister Black, EC3, Robert Roode.
Oh God, not EC3. Dear God.
Dude, that's horrible.
Where is EC3?
Where is EC3?
Why is he in hiding? And why does he have a red Solo cup?
I heard he was injured the last time, but there's been no update since then.
Most of these people that you mentioned, like Alistair and EC3, they should have been at least US champion or IC champion once or twice.
Yeah.
Then you could be building them up to become champion material, but they keep putting the belt on people like friggin' Lesnar.
And Ricochet was only U.S. champion for like 10 days or whatever. They're doing nothing with Ricochet, and it annoys the hell out of me. The man's one of the best wrestlers working today, and they're doing nothing. Same with Aleister Black.
Why is he in a room? Why is he locked in a room?
I mean, Aleister Black did have that promo on Raw where he said that he's gonna be the one looking for the fight now. So hopefully that means he's gonna actually have some feuds and move up the ladder to win championships.
And how they fucking up his character. His character is so good, and they're just fucking him up. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I hope
Johnny got the wrestlers.
Yeah, but I hope that doesn't happen to Matt Riddle and his transition to the main roster is smoother than the others. And Ziggler, so what was your thoughts on that overall?
Yeah, it is what it is, This past Wednesday, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne won the Dusty Classic. And
he won the Dusty Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, they're facing the Era Takeover in a few weeks. And I actually think Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle might win. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but I like to see them win because they have to do something with Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. They don't have a lot of titles down in NXT, so.
Oh, the storyline kind of reminds me of like the Finn Balor and Samoa Joe tag team, where they won the Dusty Cup, and then I think they also won Did they win the tag titles too?
No, I
don't think so.
They just won the Dusty Cup.
No.
Yeah, but then Samoa Joe I think turned on Balor, and then they had the fight for the NXT title. I think.
Yeah, but none of them are. Finn Balor was NXT champion during that time.
Already.
Yeah. So I think because Pete Dunne is like in the Samoa Joe situation, because he can be the one turning on Matt Riddle. I think.
I really don't see him as a face. I mean, as a heel. I don't see Matt Riddle as a heel.
Yeah, he's more of a natural heel, so maybe he'll probably turn on him.
Pete Dunne?
Pete Dunne, yeah.
Dunne has that heelish look to him.
Yeah. Matt Riddle is more of a baby face.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You can get him more over as a face.
Yeah.
He's a star in the making.
Can you imagine heel Matt Riddle being like bro and bro this, bro that?
It wouldn't make sense.
Like, you can't boo that.
But then again, RVD is a heel in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, but RVD is not as charismatic as Matt Riddle. I'm sorry, but it's true. As much as I love RVD, he was one of the best in ECW in the Ruthless Aggression era. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never was a charismatic wrestler. Even if that one night stand promo was good, he's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cam?
It happens. It's one of those things that could either just pass by, just come and go, or it will be one of those things that just stays with him until he comes onto the main roster, and that's the reason why he doesn't become big. Because personal vendetta. I remember the Rumble. Remember that one time that you messed with Brock Lesnar? This is me punishing you. But here's hoping that doesn't happen. It just comes and goes. But I do hope that Riddle has a bunch of success. He looks like a marketable individual. He looks marketable.
Yeah, and he's skilled, obviously. And I want to steal a meme from W.M.S.T and say, to Brock Lesnar, Brock, just man up and face Matt Riddle. This is a matchup a lot of people want to see. And, the kid is talented. It. Stop holding grudges and, face Matt Riddle. That would be an awesome match. Like, they both have MMA and UFC background, so that'll be a really interesting matchup.
If Lesnar does feel motivated, they can work magic.
True.
Yeah, but they were in complete different weight classes in MMA though.
Yeah.
I think Riddle was like 170 or 185. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Brock was
and
probably
Brock
like
Lesnar was like 260.
280, 260. Yeah.
Now you can't weigh in at 280. The limit for heavyweight UFC is 265. So he will weigh like 264.
Damn.
Fucking man was on steroids when he was
Big boy.
champion.
Big boy, like Lesnar
Big
said.
boy, he's a big boy now.
Yeah. And Izzy, thoughts?
He's got
Dolph
nothing.
Ziggler got
Now.
screwed.
He's got nothing.
He got
yeah,
nothing.
I'm just going to say it. Man the fuck up, Brock, and fight that guy who doesn't know what a shoe is. Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle. Yeah. Yeah, just fight him, right? That's all I got. I didn't really.
Yeah, fight him. Yeah. There you go. All right. Final segment for part 2. WWE stock fell way below a lot of people were expecting after the Q4 earnings call. Their stock was as high as $80 per share at the end of the year. It's plummeted all the way down to, I believe, like $48 per share, and this is due to them firing their CEO George Barrios, and I think they also fired another one of their head, corporate heads, and that probably freaked out a lot of the shareholders, and this happened, and obviously Vince had probably some disagreements with both of them and ended up firing both of them at the same time. And the stock falling so much actually ended up making WWE lose reportedly like close to $1 billion in revenue, which is actually pretty crazy if you think about it, because they gotta be paying these big contracts so much money because they've been signing people left and right to big contracts so to not let them go to AEW, and like any kind of loss it means like less money for the wrestlers and less money because they're even cutting down on live event dates to offset that loss. So that just means less money for the wrestlers, and that's not good for morale. um, I don't know. It's interesting why they fired both of them at the same time, like, because Vince's thinking was, okay, if I fire them and tell the shareholders, okay, we're heading in a new direction, those two didn't understand what was going on. So maybe he thought, okay, that way we can tell people, we're heading in the right direction. But to the shareholders, this feels more like Vince is lying and there is something going on that's beyond their control. And another thing is these earnings calls, they never report how much money they earn from the Saudi shows, because the Saudi shows, they're supposed to be earning like 50 to $200 million per show, but they never report these calls because Saudi doesn't pay them, I guess, before these earning calls. So yeah, some corporate news here and there. Cam, your thoughts?
I don't keep up with the stock market, so no thoughts. I don't care.
Yeah, same. I really don't give a fuck with stocks.
Yeah, but it's funny that it fell after like such a successful Royal Rumble, but it is actually more of a reflection of the Q4, which is like the last 4 months of the year. And I think WWE, I don't remember how they ended the year, but I don't think it was a good ending to the year. I think it was kind of with the TV ratings, and just the overall everything was just to end the year. So yeah.
Hey everyone, Hope you enjoyed that video, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.